Christmas University Challenge. Asking the questions, Emil Virgin.
Hello and welcome to University Challenge, where you may have noticed it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. We're taking a short break from the student competition for another series of seasonal specials in which teams of distinguished alumni will be gamely putting fingers on buzzers on behalf of their old universities and colleges. Hoping to do credit to King's College London tonight are firstly an award-winning novelist, screenwriter and singer who in 2010 at the age of just 19 became the youngest woman ever signed by the publishers Faber and Faber. Their second player has been MP for Manchester Central since 2012, during which time she's held a number of shadow cabinet positions, including education, housing and culture, media and sport. She's currently shadow leader of the House of Commons. They're captained tonight by a journalist and news presenter who began her on-screen career at Newsround before moving to Channel 4 News in 2019, where she's won multiple awards for her reporting and been nominated for a BAFTA. Their final player is Professor of Iranian History at the University of St Andrews and the founding director of its Institute for Iranian Studies. He's a frequent media commentator on recent Iranian history and politics, and his upcoming book on modern Iran will be released in the new year. Let's meet this year's team from King's College London.
Hello, I'm Chibundu Onuzo. I have a BA and a PhD in history from King's College, and I graduated in 2012 and 2018.
I'm Lucy Powell. I graduated in chemistry from King's College in 1996.
And their captain?
Hi, I'm Aisha Tal. I graduated in 2008 and I read geography.
Hi, I'm Ali Ansari. I read for an MA in War Studies and graduated in 1990.
They're facing a team from City University, whose first player is the editor-in-chief of Vice US and UK, as well as a presenter, author of non-fiction works, including a series of books profiling forgotten women in history, and host of the BBC podcast Good Bad Billionaire. She's joined by a lawyer and human rights campaigner who since 2016 has been director of the advocacy group Liberty UK. As a barrister, she specialised in bringing cases against the state and co-founded Act for the Act, a campaign to raise awareness of the positive impact of the 1998 Human Rights Act. Their captain is a familiar face from BBC One's Country File and The One Show, and ITV's Tonight, where he reports primarily on environmental issues. His major investigations include a recent exposé for Panorama of sewage pollution cover-ups in English rivers. Their final player was political leader writer and then Whitehall editor for the Financial Times, before taking up his current position as director of the think tank Onward. He's also written 2 acclaimed books on England's so-called Red Wall and Boris Johnson's fall from power. Let's hear them introduce themselves.
Hi there, I'm Zing Singh, and I studied magazine journalism at City and graduated in 2012.
Hi, I'm Martha Spurrier, and I did my postgrad in law at City, graduating in 2009.
And their captain?
Hello, I'm Joe Crowley. I studied for a postgrad in broadcast journalism at City University, graduating in 2007.
Hello, I'm Sebastian Payne, and I studied a Master's in Investigative Journalism and graduated just over a decade ago.
Well, it is very nice to see you all, and you look like you're enjoying yourselves already. The rules are the same here as they are for the students. Starter questions are answered on the buzzer. They're open to all of you, but you must answer without conferring. A correct starter wins your team 10 points and a set of 3 bonus questions on which you can and indeed should loudly confer. Fingers on buzzers, here is your first. Starter for 10. Igor Sikorsky's prototype helicopter, the bus on which Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, and the car in which John F. Kennedy was travelling at the time of his assassination are all housed within which museum, located in Dearborn, Michigan? It is named after its founder, a local business magnate who pioneered the moving assembly line manufacturing process.
City Crowley.
Ford?
Yes, I'll accept that. It's the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation. Your bonuses then, City, are 3 questions on the 1946 film It's a Wonderful Life. Who received a Best Director Oscar nomination for It's a Wonderful Life? Born in Sicily, his other films include It Happened One Night and Mr. Deeds Goes to Town.
Gosh, not famous directors in the 40s.
Not my area of expertise.
Oh, man, no, nobody. OK, can we think of anyone? We have to pass, I think.
I think I have to pass.
Pass.
We'll pass.
I'd like to say there's no shame in passing, but there is when you talk about it as you've just done. It's Frank Capra. The setting of the film, Bedford Falls, is thought to have been inspired by which town in upstate New York, whose name also includes the word falls? It was the location of a groundbreaking women's rights convention of 1848.
Okay, I mean, Niagara Falls is upstate New York, isn't it? It borders Canada. That's the only falls I've got. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Let's go for Niagara.
Okay, Niagara Falls.
No, it's Seneca Falls. What is the name of George Bailey's guardian angel? He shares his given name with a dukedom held by a brother of Richard III, said to have been drowned in a butt of Malmsey wine. A single name is enough here.
Any dukedom.
Can take a random guess at this point.
Come on.
Okay, we're going to go with a Lancaster.
Random dukedoms won't do. No. Don't
No.
Yeah, it was Clarence Oddbody. Another starter question now. When he first appeared in 1978, which horror movie antagonist's face was obscured by a modified and painted Captain Kirk mask? The character appears in all but one of the 13 movies in this franchise and is sometimes pitted against Laurie Strode, usually played by Jamie Lee Curtis.
Kings Powell.
Dr. Spock?
No.
City Saying.
Freddy Krueger.
Nope, it's Michael Myers. Another starter now. Predicted to affect 1 in 17,000 people in the UK, what condition can be caused by a variety of mutations to the so-called OCA genes? One such mutation leads to abnormal production of tyrosinase, the first enzyme in a multi-step process required to produce melanin, meaning people with this condition will often have...
Kings Powell.
Albino?
Yes, we'll accept that. It's albinism is what we're specifically after, but you can have it. Your bonuses are 3 questions on a shared word in literature. First, what short word describes a history of 7 killings in the title of a Booker Prize-winning novel by Marlon James and follows the pelican in the title of a John Grisham thriller novel about the assassinations of Supreme Court justices?
Brief.
A brief.
Brief it is, yeah, it's a brilliant book. The 2019 novel On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous was written by which Vietnamese-American author as a follow-up to his 2016 poetry collection Night Sky with Exit Wounds?
It's Ocean Vuong, I think.
Nominate.
Ocean Vuong.
Well done. Finally, Aldous Huxley's short story collection Brief Candles takes its title from a soliloquy spoken in the final act of which of Shakespeare's tragedies?
Shakespeare's tragedies.
Tragedies. 12 Night.
What was the question?
King Lear.
King Lear, yeah. It is,
Is King Lear?
I mean, it sounds about right. I don't know. King Lear.
Come on.
I mean, I don't even know.
Life, out, brief candle, life is but a walking shadow. It's Macbeth. It's Macbeth. Don't go, as if you nearly had it. Right, fingers on buzzers, another starter question. I need the name of a language here. The word iwi, meaning an extended kinship group, ehoa, a form of address used for a friend, and tamaiti, meaning a child, are all terms added to the Oxford English Dictionary in 2023 that originate in what Polynesian language? You may not confer...
City Saying.
Maori.
Maori is correct. Yes, well done. Your bonuses then, City, are on the impeachment of Bill Clinton, which took place in December 1998, 25 years ago. Which lawyer and independent counsel filed the namesake report that formed the basis of the impeachment, concluding that Clinton had lied under oath about his relationship with the intern Monica Lewinsky? He would later serve as a defence counsel for Donald Trump.
Kenneth Starr.
Ken Starr is correct. Following his impeachment, Clinton faced a Senate trial in which he would eventually be acquitted. Which Conservative Chief Justice of the Supreme Court presided over it?
I don't think it was Clarence, was it?
Do you think it's Clarence?
I think, yeah.
Was it
You think
Rehnquist?
Clarence?
Was it Rehnquist?
Rehnquist. Do you think? Anyone got... OK, so I'm going to go with you.
Oh, right.
Nominate Payne.
William Rehnquist.
Correct. Finally, Clinton became only the second president of the United States to be impeached. Who was the first in 1868?
Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson.
No, it's Andrew Johnson. Oh. Bad luck. Let's take a picture round now. And for your picture starter, you will see a map. For 10 points, identify the island highlighted in red. Nope, I'll tell you. It's Gotland. We'll take your picture bonuses when we get a starter question right. Here we go, fingers on buzzers. Born in Ulster about 400 years before the Williamite War, Elizabeth de Burgh married which future King of Scotland? After her husband seized the throne, she was captured by supporters of the English king, imprisoned for several years, and exchanged for the Earl of Hereford after the victory at Bannockburn in 1314.
King Centauri.
Robert the Bruce.
It is Robert the Bruce, yes, well done. your picture bonuses now, guys. And following on from Gotland, which is Sweden's largest island, you'll be shown maps with 3 more Baltic islands or island groups highlighted. 5 points for each you can name. First, this island, its country's largest.
Is Lapland an island?
No. I think Baltics, it must be like Lithuania, Estonia. I don't know.
I'm not sure, actually.
So do you need the country or the island?
I think it's the island.
Come on.
Got a clue? No? Pass.
I'll tell you, it's Saaremaa, which is the largest island of Estonia. Second, this island group, which contains its country's largest island.
I don't know any Baltic islands. I don't know any
Gosh, this is so difficult, especially for geography as well. I'm just trying to think of where it is.
It's off Sweden, but I don't know.
No, completely.
Don't know.
Small. No.
It's
Pass.
the Åland Islands. And finally, this island, its country's largest Baltic island.
It's Denmark. It's Ireland. Big Island, Denmark. I don't know.
Where's Orkney?
Wait,
No,
no,
that's
not
Scotland.
Kroger's.
No.
Kroger's not a word or a name, or I don't even know. No, pass.
I'll tell you, it's Zealand. Now, let's start the question. In the late 1920s, the crystallographer Kathleen Lonsdale conclusively determined the molecular structure of which hydrocarbon with the formula C6H6. She proved that its carbon atoms are arranged in a planar hexagonal ring and determined its precise dimensions.
King's Power.
Benzene.
Good job you studied chemistry, wasn't it? Well done. Your
Pressure for the chemistry.
bonuses then, Kings, are 3 questions on the animals that appear on the new coin designs announced by the Royal Mint in October 2023. First, featured on the penny, what is the smallest mammal to appear on the new coins? The hazel variety of this animal, the only one native to Britain, saw a population decline of over 50% between 2000 and 2018.
Squirrel.
No, it's a dormouse. Appearing on the new 10p coin, the capercaillie belongs to which bird family? Found in Scotland, the current population is actually Swedish in origin because the original species in Scotland became extinct in the 18th century.
Eagles.
Anyone else?
Must be eagles.
Eagle.
No, it's the grouse. Finally, which seabird appears on the new 20p coin? The variant depicted on the coin is the only one native to the Atlantic Ocean region and can be found in various places along the British coast.
Seagull. No, I don't think it'd be a seagull. Okay. I don't know.
Osprey.
No, it's the puffin. Bad luck. Now, let's start the question now. I need the name of an artist here. Held at Factory International's Aviva Studios in Manchester in summer 2023, You, Me and the Balloons, an immersive exhibition including giant dolls, tendrilled landscapes, pumpkins and a constellation of polka dot spheres, celebrated 3 decades of which Japanese artists' work.
King's Honours.
Yayoi Kusama.
It is Yayoi Kusama, yes.
I went to the exhibition and I couldn't remember the name.
Your bonuses then, Kings, are on places whose names contain the word elf. That's E-L-F. In each case, name the place from the description. First, a Dutch town known for its decorated earthenware, which was severely damaged by the explosion of a powder magazine in 1654.
Go on.
Elphinstone, but it can't be. I don't know where that is.
Elphinstone.
Yes.
But that's PH.
Come on.
No. Elphin. Just say Elphin.
Elfin.
No, Delft. Secondly, a West Midlands golf resort that hosted the 2022 and 2023 British Masters. It has hosted the Ryder Cup 4 times and is the headquarters of the Professional Golfers Association.
Oh, God. West Midlands.
West Midlands.
No, the only one I have in my head is St Andrews, but obviously that's not.
No, I can't think.
No. No, pass.
It's the Belfry.
Oh.
And finally, a new town in Shropshire, which in 1968 adopted as its name that of a Scottish engineer who was a former surveyor of public works for the...
Telford.
Telford is correct, well done. Right, a music starter now. For your music starter, you're going to hear a piece of popular music. For 10 points, name the artist.
City Sang.
Harry Styles.
It is Harry Styles, yes, well done. For that music starter, you heard Harry Styles' music for a sushi restaurant from the album Harry's House, which won Album of the Year at the Grammys in February 2023. Your music bonuses will be tracks from 3 more acts that won Best Album awards at that ceremony. 5 points for each act that you can name. First, this band, who won Best Alternative Music Album for their self-titled debut.
Wet Leg, yeah. Wet Leg.
Wet Legs, right? Yep, correct, well done. Secondly, this artist, who won Best Jazz Vocal Album.
Stars shine above you, linger a while.
My brother's a jazz musician, I should know this. It was embarrassing. Anyone?
My jazz knowledge ends a long time ago.
Female, recent jazz. No.
No.
Come on.
We haven't got it, sorry, pass.
Samara Joy. Finally, this artist who won Best Country Album.
My heart was a dancer. No, you don't need to know her name.
I was going to say Garth Brooks in When in Doubt.
When in doubt, Garth Brooks.
It's Willie Nelson. Right, another starter question. In 1998, the Spanish magistrate Baltasar Garzón indicted which former national leader for human rights violations, leading to his arrest in the UK?
City Crowley.
Pinochet?
It is Pinochet, yes. Your bonuses then are on French culinary terms. All answers end in the same 4 letters. First, with a name relating to a port on the south coast of France, what word indicates that a dish is likely to include or be garnished with tomatoes, olives, capers and anchovies?
Ports.
Saucisson? I have no idea.
No, that's
No,
sausage,
that's
spicy
sausage.
sausage. Is Montpellier on the south coast?
Ending in the same.
Yeah, but they're all the same answers are going to end in.
Marseille.
Yeah.
Come on,
Napoli.
hurry up. I need an answer.
I mean, that's not the south coast of France, though, is it?
Just pick a random
Should we
port.
go, what, someone said Port City, Marseille? Or...
Okay, I'm going to time you out.
Okay, Marseille?
No, it's Niçoise, as in after Nice. Secondly, deriving from the name of the former province of southern France where the dish originated, what adjective may precede potatoes to indicate that they have been thinly sliced and baked in cream?
Dauphinois.
Yes, dauphinoise. What soup of leek and potatoes is named after a spa town that was later associated with the Pétain administration during World War II?
Leek and potato. What, leek and potato?
Yeah. Can't think of a town, though.
What's potato in French?
Come on.
Pomme de terre.
It's a tight game, so I'm going to hurry you.
Okay, we are passing on leek and potato.
That was Vichyssoise. Another starter question now. What name is given to a class of random sampling algorithms developed by Polish-American physicist Stan Ulam and others in the 1940s? The name is taken from a casino in Monaco, used as a location for several James Bond films, including GoldenEye.
City Sang.
Royale.
No. You may not confer. Buzz, if you think you know the answer. Want to have a guess? No, I'll tell you. It's Monte Carlo. Another starter question. This is a quote. The first of 6 horrible situation tragedies to celebrate the 500th anniversary of the succession of Richard III. These words were used 40 years ago this year to launch which television programme, whose first series included episodes titled The Queen of Spain's Beard and Which Smeller...
King's Ansari.
Blackadder.
It is Blackadder, yes. Your bonuses, Kings, are 3 bonuses on long-serving African leaders. After breaking away from the Northern Rhodesian Congress, Kenneth Kaunda led the main independence movement of which nation, subsequently serving as its president from 1964 to 1991?
I would say Zambia. What would you say?
Yeah, Zambia.
Correct. In 1958, which French colony was the only one to reject membership of the French community and instantly declare independence? The nationalist leader, Ahmed Sékou Touré, subsequently served as its president until 1984.
Touré, oh my gosh. It's a French. I would say Guinea, but I'm not sure.
Sierra Leone, Guinea.
No, I say Guinea.
Guinea?
Correct. From 1964 to 1985, Julius Nyerere served as president of which country, formed by the union of a former mainland British colony with the island of Zanzibar?
Tanzania.
Tanzania.
Tanzania is correct. Another starter question. I need the name of a football club here. In 2023, KAA Ghent, AZ Alkmaar and Fiorentina were the clubs defeated in the quarter-finals, semi-finals and final, respectively, by which club on their way to their first major silverware since 1980, winning the Europa Conference League?
Kings Powell.
West Ham.
It is West Ham, yes. Your 3 bonuses, Kings, are on Bethlehem. Ephrath, usually identified with Bethlehem, is mentioned in the book of Genesis as close to the burial place of which figure, the daughter of Laban and wife of Jacob?
Oh, wait, Rachel.
Nominate.
Rachel.
Correct. The great-grandmother of David, which biblical figure is described as travelling to Bethlehem with her mother-in-law, Naomi? The book bearing her name follows the book of Judges and precedes the first book of Samuel.
Ruth.
Ruth.
It is Ruth. 2 of the New Testament Gospels identify Bethlehem as the birthplace of Jesus. For 5 points, name both.
I would say Matthew and Luke.
Yep, go with her.
Yep, Matthew and Luke.
Well done. Picture round now, and for your picture starter, you'll see a structure located in the City of London. For 10 points, what historical event does it commemorate?
King's Powell.
The Great Fire of London.
It is the Great Fire of London. That was the monument to the Great Fire of London, designed by Sir Christopher Wren and his chief assistant, the natural philosopher Robert Hooke. 2023 marked the tercentenary of Wren's death, so for your picture bonuses, you will see 3 more of Wren's buildings. 5 points for each one you can identify. First, name this building, commissioned in 1689 by William III and Mary II.
Oh, where's that? Is that Kensington Palace?
Yeah, I think
Looks like Kensington Palace.
Kensington Palace.
Correct. Second, name this church, which sits in ruins in the City of London. Wren designed its tower and steeple.
Church in London.
Does that? I don't know. I'm not sure that
I don't know
Does
where
that look
that
like
is.
it's near Kings?
It's near Kings.
It's near Kings, isn't it?
Kings,
Like
isn't it?
Chancery Lane.
Temple? I don't know. Temple Court? I don't know.
Let's try it. Temple Court.
No, it's St Dunstan in the east. And finally, name this building, commissioned by Charles II in 1675.
Oh, no.
No. Oh, is that an
Yeah.
observatory? Is that
Greenwich?
Is that Greenwich?
Greenwich
Should we try
Observatory?
Greenwich Observatory?
Yes, correct. Let's start the question now. In 2009, the Dragons, designed by Eileen Gray, became the most expensive type of what furniture item to be sold at auction? Other prominent designs of this item include the Peacock, designed by Hans Wegner, the Barcelona by...
City Spurrier.
Chair.
It is a chair, yes, well done. Your bonuses, City, are 3 questions on plays that premiered in the UK in 2023. Running for 3 hours and 40 minutes, which play about 4 US college friends is based on Hanya Yanagihara's best-selling novel of the same name?
Yeah, nominating.
A Little Life.
It is. Which play by James Graham takes its title from Gareth Southgate's open letter to football fans, written in 2021, just before the delayed UEFA Euro 2020 tournament?
Dear England.
Dear England.
Dear England is correct. Adapted by Lolita Chakrabarti from Maggie O'Farrell's novel of the same name, which play begins in Warwickshire in 1582 and takes its title from the name of one of Anne Hathaway and William Shakespeare's 3 children?
Hamnet.
Hamnet is correct. Yes, well done. 5 minutes to go. Plenty of time in this city. What 2-word designation is generally given to the coalition initially formed under Ramsay MacDonald in 1931? It remained in power for most of the 1930s and was later led by Stanley Baldwin and Neville Chamberlain.
City Spurrier.
Lib Lab.
No. You may not confer. Buzz if you think you got it.
King's Ansari.
But national government?
Yes, national government is correct, yes. Your bonuses are on terms in mathematics. Give each from the definition. All 3 answers end with the same 2 letters. First, a property of a circle that may be obtained by dividing the circle's circumference by 2 pi.
2 pi, you get the diameter.
Diameter?
No, it's the radius.
Radius. Oh, sorry.
Secondly, a surface of revolution produced by rotating a circle about a coplanar axis. When the distance from the axis to the circle's centre is greater than the circle's radius, the resulting shape resembles a donut.
I'm completely lost on what you were saying. That's really
I have no idea. Pass.
Taurus. Finally, the base, with respect to which a congruence between 2 numbers is computed, or an alternative term for the absolute value of a real or complex number.
Oh, it ends in RUS.
Oh, it ends in
RUS. Yeah. Real or complex. I completely sort of
radius
lost the plot on that one.
No, pass.
Ends in US and it's modulus. Another starter question now. Answer in Chinese or Korean. Written using the same Chinese characters, give either of the words that refer to an area south of the River Yangtze and affluent region of the city of Seoul. The latter appears in the name of a 2012 hit record by Psy.
King's Anazor.
Gangnam?
It is Gangnam, yes. 3 questions then on music first performed or released in 1923. Vaughan Williams' English folk song suite includes which folk dance tune named for an English city? It was a UK top 5 hit for Mike Oldfield in 1976.
Tubular bells? Tubular
Bells?
No, that was Portsmouth.
Oh.
Next, Bela Bartok's Dance Suite and Zoltan Kodai's Psalmus Hungaricus were composed to celebrate in 1923 the 50th anniversary of the union of 3 towns to form which European city?
3 towns.
To form a city. I mean, Budapest?
Correct. Finally, a jazz song of 1923 written by Cecil Mack and James P. Johnson for a Broadway musical is best known for which dance that it accompanied, which became a symbol of the early years of that decade?
Charleston. I don't know, 20s, Charleston?
Yeah, let's try it. Charleston?
Correct. Let's start the question now. Described by GQ magazine as the boldest and most influential of the founding fathers of rock and roll, which singer was the subject of the 2023 documentary subtitled I Am Everything? His best-known hits include Tutti Frutti and Good Golly Miss Molly.
City sang.
Little Richard.
It is Little Richard, yes. Your bonus is the 3 questions on scientific anniversaries of 2023. Which scientific publication edited by Thomas Wakeley was first published in 1823? Its first issue contained an account of Sir Astley Cooper's surgical lectures from the theatre at St Thomas's Hospital.
We don't know any science literature, do we?
No.
So we're going for Lancet. We're
that.
going for the Lancet.
Correct. Associated with the celebrated oil drop experiment, which US scientist won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1923 for his work on elementary electronic charge and the photoelectric effect?
US scientist. You say 23?
1923.
1923. US scientist.
Come on.
Van der Graaf?
No, it's Millikan. Finally, the Dutch scientist Antony van Leeuwenhoek, who died in 1723, was influential in the development of what type of scientific instrument? He used it to study entities referred to as animalcules.
Animalcules. It's an instrument. Microscope? Yeah? Microscope?
Correct. Let's start the question now. Listen carefully. The common name of the food fish of the genus Clupea and the general name of the anatomical structure whose cells include osteoblasts and osteocytes concatenate to form the name of which stitch or design pattern?
City Crowley.
Weave?
No. Anyone want to guess?
King's Honorsor.
Cross.
No, it's herringbone. Now let's start the question. In the context of environmental science, the abbreviations CCS and CCU refer to the capture and storage or utilisation of...
City Crowley.
Carbon.
Correct, yes. Your bonus is the 3 questions on place names in the USA. What is the state capital of Montana? It shares its name with characters in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream and All's Well That Ends Well.
Ooh, Montana. So Midsummer Night's Dream.
Titania.
Bottom. Anyone else? Who else? Who is it? Rosalind? No. Who else is in?
Come on. Come on.
Any guesses?
No, I'll tell you. It's Helena. Which island of Massachusetts is believed by some to be named for either the daughter or the mother-in-law of the explorer Bartholomew Gosnold?
Do you think is that an island?
Yeah.
Martha's Vineyard?
Correct. What city is the most populous of North Carolina and was named after the wife of King George III? And at the Gong, City University London have 120 and King's College have 155. You can applaud if you like. Well done, guys. You look like you enjoyed yourselves.
We did.
I kept trying to hurry you along to give you a chance, but you seem to sort of enjoy luxuriating in the conversation.
We're very relaxed.
In intervals.
Yeah.
Christmas time.
It's Christmas.
Well, yeah, it was more a kind of Christmas conversation than a quiz from your point of view. But you did very, very well. And you got 3 figures, which is more than can be said for some. So have you enjoyed yourselves?
Very much
Yeah,
so.
it's been great.
We've really enjoyed having you. Kings, that was great. Well done. Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Very happy. Yeah. You did brilliantly. And we might well see you again, because I hope you can join us next time for another of these Christmas specials. But until then, it is goodbye from City University London.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's goodbye from King's College London.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.